Hello, Red Pill Queen. Hello, Larry, Stock Jockey. Yeah, kind of a nothing burger day, but we'll get into it. Hello, silver haired lady. Hello, S. Lucius. Go Hot Rod and Captain D. Hello, Rosie Posey. See, we got Karen Rozelle. Thank you. See, I'm ready to get. Wait, over there. Ready to get to the Indy 500. Is it race season? I think it is race season. Hello, Rick Hardy. Hello, Ken and Hoops. Hello, Jillian Ward. Alice, Mike G, Black Irish Dad. Hello, David Cooper, S-Red, NATO, Minimac. How's everybody this morning? Hello, Storm. Everybody out today. Yeah, Samco. I have an Evergreen container ship running aground in the Chesapeake Bay right out in front of my neighborhood. Wonder if it's the same captain that ran aground in the Suez. I don't know if you can make that one up. Hold on. It is interesting, though, isn't it? Let's see. Somewhere I've got that in here. Oh, yeah. There we go. Like, what do you guys think of this one? Yet another Evergreen ship. Is it just coincidence or is there something going on? That might make for interesting, right? What do y'all think? What do yins guys think? Hello, Master. Hello, Kentucky and Donut Hole. Yeah, Evelyn saw that this morning. That's still on my bucket list is a Kentucky Derby. I've not done that one yet. Somebody said white hats. Let's see. What did Karen ask me? Do you think Iraq is holding off and putting off to cause more stress because it's the last thing they can do to us because of Jazeera? No, I don't think it's that at all. I think they are caught in the gold treaty and continually have to manipulate things a little. But I think we're in the final days. I feel pretty confident at this point we will be done and have banked before we get to April 4th. Let's see. Leslie says, I think it's intentional. The deep state was likely up to something, praying the white hats have it under control. Peter also agrees with you, Leslie. Miss Kitty, something going on. I can smell it all the way to Tennessee. Any of you guys, have you, let's see, make certain I get this one right. Have you guys watched, let's see.
Fourth?
I got to be careful on this one. Have you seen this video? I'm with you, Kimmy. We need this next chapter to start. Many of you folks checking in. Mark Hug in Kentucky. It's good to see you. Hello, Naples, Florida. Rocking in the... Hello, Oregon. Yes, seen it. Yes, yes, yes. Wheelvar, good to see you. Let's see. What did you say, Bernard? I'm watching now live. Webcam in Kiev, a 4-panel screen, north, south, east, west. I see no smoke, bombing, burning buildings. Now, we do have an interesting one that I'm looking forward to, guys. Make certain I get this one right. Hold on here. We have a lady whose son lives in the Ukraine, and I'm trying to get footage of what's going on there and a take from somebody like literally on the ground in Kiev. So hopefully I'll be able to let you guys know. I think that would be great because we are getting so much craziness. What is happening, what isn't happening, and finding the truth is getting difficult. So I'm looking forward to getting some people like on the ground in the Ukraine to give us their take on what they're actually seeing, as opposed to what we're being told. Kimmy said, saw that. Phil Q verified. They haven't showed up on my doorstep, knocked. But normally they would just call me. I actually was flown at one point when we were doing business with somebody from the Halliburton family that is not real fond of their family's reputation. They actually flew me to Grand Rapids, Michigan to get put through the ringer to make certain I was a safe. So I don't know if they need to do that for me or not. Who knows? Or maybe I'm not on their radar at all. I'm good with that too. Oh, the coaster. I'm trying to catch it. Oh, hello, Shira. It's just because of where you're at in the update. If you refresh, you'll see a bunch more lights pop up. Man, I'm enjoying a lot of this stuff. Keeping that one going there in the background. Let me stop that one. I shared that and I put it in today's links just so you guys could see it. Fly exactly 110 soldier. Trying to fly under it. Go Maha or Go Maja. I am a big fan of X-22. Hello, Pickles. And it's going too quickly for me to let's see. Intel Slava Z on Telegram is a very good source for true news from Ukraine. I have a friend that is Russian that has been translating and everything's been accurate so far that I see. Seems to be the best source that I can find. Fred, send me a link if you've got one. Uh-oh. Let's see. Imagine Sons. Good morning, MarkZ family. It's my birthday. 1963 model. Let's see. I'm going to write that one down. All right. I like birthdays. Reading, guys. Sorry. Reading all of you all's comments. All right, Mesmer, it's good to have you live this morning. Oh, Charlie, I think that's exactly what is going on. Yeah, I don't have time to talk to him. Click, click. Have you guys heard some of the latest out of Russia this morning? I'm certain that it's probably hitting the press already. Angela said, good morning. Haven't been able to say hi in a while. Love you. Angela, thank you. Thank you. Over at PPN, thank you. Putin is signing into law today, a law in Russia that will allow them to domesticate or re-register any aircraft that has been left there because of a lack of operations or sanctions, meaning that all of these leased aircraft, Boeing, wherever they've got them registered, most of them register, I think it's Ireland or Scotland, somewhere like that, because of the very affordable tax laws. So these airlines will create a shell company, buy the aircraft, lease them to themselves. They keep the shell company in Ireland for tax savings. But he's domesticating them so that there's no problem with their domestic air travel in Russia because so much of it is handled from international airlines. But it is interesting. So, all right, you want to play this game? Billions of dollars. Thanks. Jesus Believer said, I had the FBI check on me a couple of years ago, but they did not talk to me. They talked to the RV park owner where I was staying. At the time, he asked if I did something wrong. He was told, no, we're just keeping an eye on him. Later, I was pulled over with a plate tag that had been expired for over 5 years and let go with a warning. That doesn't surprise me. Let me hear. I celebrate my birthday week, my birthday month. I think it's your birthday year, isn't it? I like it. All right. Not a whole lot of news, but let's touch on it. Some of the folks missed what was going on last night. Federal court postpones the lawsuit to raise the price of the dollar that was supposed to occur yesterday in Iraq. It has been postponed until April 4th. I'm being told from my sources that they have done that on purpose because they expect the RV to have been completed, small denomination bills out, and everything done before then, thus negating the need for it. That is what I am hearing. I'm hearing bond folks. I don't have anybody that has gone as of last night, but late last night they were telling me, or later yesterday afternoon, I should say, early evening, they were telling me they expected full funding in people with historic bonds within the next 48 hours, and that was from yesterday. So I'm expecting a lot of very busy stuff over the next very short time, probably 36 hours or so. Hello, Peg. Thank you. Yeah, somebody more kick. I don't think we're getting kick. I would not be surprised though if the rockets landing on late Saturday and Sunday from Iranian sources perhaps is the reason that was delayed from Monday to the 4th. What do you guys think on that one? And what's your take on Ezra Cohen giving a second warning, take all your money out of the bank? Pros, cons? You almost have to be pretty certain that things are going to go the way we want instead of a Klaus Schwab approach to the Great Reset. I got real mixed feelings on that one. I know if we all pull our money out, it forces a collapse of the fiat banking system. Of course, that would be, if we sat there and talked about it and said everybody do it, that would be financial terrorism, probably, according to our government. So I'm very hesitant to really discuss that one at great length. I try not to keep a whole lot in the bank, but then I don't trust banks. I've had too many bad experiences personally. That was not Ezra Cohen Watnick. Not him, fake account. Thank you, guys. What do you all think? Do you believe that this video was actually, is this, I'm seeing some back and forth here. What is your take? Pickles, it's easy not to keep money in the bank when you don't have it, right? Unfortunately. That one's funny. But what do you think? Do you think this is legitimate? Do you think it's not? Does anybody know him? Storm, I think it's legit. Sarah, yes, you missed it, but there wasn't a whole lot there. We dove into it, and I forgot to put the hat on and the news thing. So if you guys want it, just back up a couple of minutes, listen to it. Somebody said don't trust him. Of course, I don't know if they're talking about this person or somebody else there. Somebody's very skeptical. Now wow. Lee, now this actually makes a lot of sense. If you control a deep state actor, if you're going to roll down this whole conspiracy theory line anyways, would it not be a great way to sow disinformation for them to show up and drop something like that on purpose? Yeah, I don't know who it is. Somebody's take on it. I don't know who Brad Barton is. I'm really bad at this because I just don't follow anybody. All right, let's just get on to the world news, and then we'll just answer questions. Militia Man and Claire, all good on Monday. Discussion yesterday on recaps. I thought it was great, so I included the link for it as they dive into this change in exchange rates. And it was a great discussion, I felt, anyways. Talking about lower denominations, calculating it, how they put the mechanisms into the budget to pull it forward. I thought it was a good conversation. Senator Paul unveils measure to eliminate Dr. Fauci's position, break it into 3 positions instead of 1 so that he cannot control those number of dollars. In other words, make certain it is somebody that is appointed or elected when there is oversight. Whether or not it's going to make it out of committee is a different one. Trending politics. They've been fun. I know it's very opinionated. When you look at their commentary, it is full of the author's opinion, just like mine. When you listen to me, it's full of my opinion. It's not a joke. Biden blames high gas prices and record inflation on Vlad. Ooh, boy, do I wish. This is not peer-reviewed yet, but a new study confirms it outperforms other options, including the new ones that they have just come out with and gotten emergency use authorization on. It outperforms all others, even with the newest variant. As small an amount as 12 milligrams once a month is enough to remove your level of risk. Really interesting article for those that would like to read it. I'd suggest it. I'd suggest sending it to your elected officials and all the other doubters out there. We already talked about the Evergreen container ship. This one is older. Well, I say older. It's only 3 days older. Russia, China, Brazil, India call for investigation into U.S. Those labs in the Ukraine, which those countries alone represent about half the world's population. What else, for those of us that have been following this closely from the beginning, when you see Russia, China, Brazil, and India, what comes to mind? I am waiting for all of you folks. See, Skeeter gets it. Oh, we'll start taking once a month. I'm going to take the same approach myself, I think. Let's see. Reporter asks Saki if everything will now be... Yeah, that I shared that one, Lisa, yesterday when Jen was leaving a restaurant, and they asked her, what about these prices? It's uncomfortable. How are people supposed to pay anything? Are you just going to start blaming Putin for everything that was wrong before? It was great. It was epic, Lisa. It was epic. Shira, I missed that one. Something about a new variant, and then it was gone. It went too quickly. Yeah, Ivan works. There it was. New variant will be called Tuchaskron. Anyone know Yiddish? Look up Tukas. Okay. I would believe that one. Somebody got it. BRICS. That's exactly what I was trying to put down. Somebody got exactly what I was pushing. So you look at this. BRICS are the countries: Brazil, China, India. Let's see. Yeah. Brazil, China, Russia, India, and South Africa. These are the countries that are part of BRICS, or forcing the reset by creating an alternative banking system and asset-banked money. And there we have it right there, as they are insisting on diving into whether it's real or not. I took that as a great sign when I read that one. Rick, many thanks, Rick. Boycott of Russian gas and oil could cause mass poverty in Germany. Their version of a prime minister warns an immediate stop to supplies could hurt Germany's population more than Putin could. They're just now catching on. How long have I been telling everybody this one? Matter of fact, Trump told them, 2 years ago, 3 years ago in a meeting, you guys are idiots. You're not going to have a choice. Whatever Russia does, you're going to have to jump. If he says 2 foot, you got to jump 2 foot. If he says 4 feet, you got to jump 4 feet. If he tells you to go take a crap, you better be saying how long and what color. You don't have a choice. And he points it out that he can break Germany, just like crush them like a cheap aluminum can, because he controls over 50% of their power output, and he also controls their fertilizer. I mean, he has them by the nads. What can I say? What can I not say? I don't know. But I thought that one was interesting, that somebody comes out with common sense finally and says, this is the truth. You may not like it, but we really can only do so much because we are so compromised that he can break us and impoverish the entire country. He can financially ruin all the citizens of Germany. And that is the position they put themselves in. Ooh, I like this one. Golden Dragon China Index. All hell breaking loose in China. Here, look at our Dow Jones today. Let me do a quick refresh. It's up 189 points. Meanwhile, in the rest of the world that isn't living on some quantitative easing, Fed-induced cotton candy Red Bull lifestyle, where money is being printed at a helter-skelter rate and flushed into it in hopes of keeping it from crashing, which is just going to kick the can and make it much bigger. Still going to happen. And here we've got, as they're discussing that implosion that is going on in China itself. We're talking about on theirs down 75% already. MarkZ 2008 Prefix ZA. I have no idea on the ZA. I've always been told to look for the AA and AB. Regina, I wish I had an answer for you, but I just don't know. Wake up, USA. DHS targeting anyone who believes election was... Yeah, well, I can tell you that. They've already come after me and removed me on 2 different occasions from YouTube and social media for even mentioning actual lawsuits that were won and discussing them. Even that is not allowed to be discussed. They're terrified of the open discussion there. All right, 1 in 20 believes the conspiracy theory that was released as part of a depopulation plan is definitely true. I'm curious, how about you guys? I included that one because we're starting to see larger and larger numbers that are believing conspiracy theories as more and more conspiracy theories are proven, unfortunately, correct. What do you guys think? I wanted to know. I wanted to get like a feeling or a kind of a litmus for you all. Yes, 100%. Yep. Crazy horse. I agree with you. They can literally put you in prison, but they can't lock down a free soul. Jay Stephanie's getting it. Like the way you think, Sue. Irish Eyes South. I agree with you. I think that is a very low number. I think 5% is horribly off. Red Whiter Sweetness, 2504 for silver. That surprises me. I'm really expecting silver to explode. They're doing their best to keep it suppressed. No, I've not heard of this. Roswell Aliens asking me, MarkZ, have you heard that flags are being made now that have the Queen's birth and this year for her death, 22, even though she has been gone for years? It's come out very soon. Remember, Trump said in a speech on 26 that things will be coming out. Let's see. They possibly could. We're going to need more than $250,000 in the old bank account then. I'll get busy and see if I can move some money. Ha 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 ha. Hello, Claire Rawlings. Kaiser, I'm one of the 20. Von Seal. How many more articles do we need to read? How much more documentation about limited food supply on purpose as a way of controlling population before we start believing that they're trying to control the population? Right? It's like the burning buildings. There's nothing going on here. Pay no attention to the burning buildings, and yet they're still sitting right behind you and burning. And then you're supposed to say they're not. Like, how many more government documents do you need to see from Freedom of Information Acts talking about just that before you start believing any of it? Right? Let's see. Any other possible reasons? What are other possible reasons are there for bioweapons labs and gain of function research to protect us from little green men? Supposedly, to K9, it's in case one of these happens, we should know how it works so that we can be prepared. I kind of see their logic, but I don't really gain it because they're having to genetically modify them so that they can't even cross species. So I just don't buy it at all. There is no good reason for them unless you intend to weaponize them. I can't think of another good reason. Dean, we discussed that last night. Let's see, what else? Clinton-backed Haiti pastor indicted on child sex charges. The Clinton Foundation helped fund two of their projects and has been indicted on child sex charges. Of course, indicted doesn't mean found guilty yet. Let it play out. But this one, having read and done a little study, it appears to be pretty much a slam dunk and a real case. But interesting. I think we are starting to see, well, I don't know. Does this have anything to do, hold on here, with that? Maybe. We already talked about now I've got some biohacking ones. We're not going to have Dr. Rich or Stacy Z this morning. So at the end, I will talk about these things. Biohack your brain. They are finding these spike proteins leave a lot of mental fog and how you handle it and deal with it. But we'll talk about that right at the end. Now I'm just going to answer y'all's questions. Time to start questioning. The original MarkZ, it's definitely released as part of the Georgia Map Rocks plan. The Guidestones, the Georgia Guidestones. But I think it's part of a multi-year plan to get to 500 million. Can you imagine how sparsely populated the world would be with 500 million? Let's do that. Let's see. 500 million. We're over 7 billion now. So that would be, what, you're getting rid of 10 for every one you keep almost? Is that right, guys? Look around you. Look in your, maybe in your higher densely populated areas, it would be more livable. But if you guys live in the country, I mean, I don't know about you folks in South Dakota, North Dakota, Wyoming, Montana. Can you imagine like a tenth of the population? It'd be even less than that. It'd be like a 14th, if my math is right, of the population. A 14th. So 1 in 14 would survive if they had their way. Deb, happy Taco Tuesday in San Diego. As Henry Kissinger called us useless eaters, as Hillary Clinton called us deplorables, mouth breathers, Walmart shoppers, or she called Hispanics taco bowls. I'm trying to think of some of her other interesting things from, those emails that everybody says we're supposed to ignore. As she told us what she thought about Jewish people, what she thought about Hispanic people, what she thought about black people. She's a nasty woman. Nasty woman. Hey, Ray, it's good to see you. I can't get used to this early start. Yeah, this daylight savings throwing me off as well. Oh, God, Jamie, that's bad but funny. Be less traffic if all these lolly pushers were gone. Terry, please explain the requirements to manage a product. Put together a good project. If they feel like you have a great project but don't necessarily have the management team, I am told they will help direct you to companies to help you take care of the logistics of the project. And that makes sense to me because very few of us are going to be capable on our own without professional help of managing a multi-billion-dollar project or even millions of dollars. So basically, Terry, have a good idea. Put it in 2 or 3 paragraphs and be prepared. Cheryl M., I am not in the least bit worried about that. How can government not pay Social Security for seniors not jabbed? I think that ship has sailed. They tried to push there, and the pushback has been too big worldwide. Even Austria has dropped those requirements, and they were at the forefront of cracking down. Don't worry about that one. Not going to happen. Milton, I'm surprised they haven't. We'll keep it as a history museum that we won and they did not. As we expand into the stars and all over this globe and we do responsible things and we raise food responsibly, we live responsibly. Frank, exactly. Just mouth breathers taking up their first class seats, and they hate that. Brian, I don't think we're waiting for any announcement of a queen's death. I do have a bad habit of doing that speed reading again. Jeff, after we sign an NDA, how would they know if we're talking about it? Keep in mind that every phone conversation, every email, every text message you send is being monitored. We've learned that during the Snowden days. Whether they take the time to actually read them or not, that's the question, but they have recorded them and they could. I would not count on any kind of privacy. I would not trust the Signal app. I wouldn't trust the WhatsApp. I wouldn't trust your Messenger. I would not trust any electronic device when it comes to our government. Yeah, Corey, I've never done the math on that, but it is hundreds of millions of dollars that Iraq is losing daily by the dinar still being weak and the oil high. They desperately need this to change. They sell too much, so them having a stronger currency means they can import more. You only want a devalued currency if you are a big manufacturing country, meaning you're making, like your China, widgets, whatever, because you want to create that. So they want to buy from you instead of somebody else with oil. People don't have a choice. They're going to buy it anyway. So you want a stronger currency, which would allow your citizens to buy things that you can't manufacture, like cars and air conditioners, toasters, Keurig coffee machines at a cheaper price from the rest of the world, including food, because you can take advantage of your currency being stronger than their currency. Just like when Americans or Europeans want a vacation, we usually want to go someplace where our currency is strong and theirs is weak, so that we can take advantage of it. We'll roll off to, I don't want to offend anybody, but something like Mexico, where the peso is not as strong as the U.S. dollar. We may want to go someplace like, if you're in the EU, you may want to go to, like, I don't know, Greece isn't a good example because they use the euro now, but you get the idea. You want to go somewhere where your currency is higher valued than where you're visiting, so that you can buy things on a discount. Same thing with Iraq. They would love for theirs to have a higher purchasing power so that they can increase their standard of living. George, I'm still hearing $2.25 to $2.30. Although I can tell you that we are seeing on the bank side of this thing, we're seeing anywhere from like $4.50 to $6 on the banking screens, pretty much nonstop of late. Could be much higher. I could be totally off. I'm still hearing $2.25 to $2.30 on the Vietnamese dong. But it is, this long seeing those kinds of rates bouncing around, it's making me scratch my head. I would not be surprised to see it closer to 4, even though I'm being told most regularly or most often $2.25 to $2.30. Let's see. Make a Difference Energy wants to chat about their wireless tech. Bill, send them my way. I know this next week or so is going to be crazy. No, I don't count on any podcasts on Thursday. I'm going to try to squeeze one in because I'll be traveling for work this Thursday and next Thursday. You're going to be seeing me on a laptop doing the podcast, but I have every intention of keeping everyone but those travel days. Bev, I'm still hearing on Zim that we're to expect 30 million for 100 T-note. I'm hearing anywhere from 11 to 36 from other people. My people continue to tell me they're expecting about 30 million US per 100 T-note. And then anything else you get additional will be just for your project. Jamie, I research right. I literally read hundreds and hundreds of articles per day, disseminate them, write original content, and then AI turns it into blogs and articles around the world. So I'm a research writer. I read. It's crazy. If you guys knew how much of what you read out there is not a human being writing it, well, I've told you, but it's crazy how much of what we consider full-blown content is not full-blown content, or that person responding to you on a social media site isn't actually a real person. It's crazy where they have gone. Unfortunately, they're not good at coming up with the AIs that they use aren't great at original concepts. At some point, the way it's going, they will be, and nothing you read will probably be from a human being anymore, but it's spooky. It's very different, though. It's very different than it used to be. I used to write for a currency group 7-8 years ago, and I'd have to write like full articles. None of it got published in my name because, well, that's how it works. When you sell that material at somebody else's, or they would use it for the basis. I would have somebody reach out and they're writing an article on, had a great one, and I wish, actually I need to look to see if I can even talk about that one now as to who bought it, on a electoral college piece that a well-known person picked up, and I think they changed maybe 2 sentences and ran with it. It was published all over the world. I was like, man, that was mine. NDA, non-disclosure agreement. Basically, you sign an agreement saying that you will not talk about it. If you do, they can take your money back. I am told that if you violate your NDA, it doesn't take all of your money back. It takes the difference between a contract rate and whatever that street rate is. So let's say that Iraq comes out at the nominal something exchange rate. Man, how have I already forgotten near? If it comes out at that rate, let's say $1.50, but you got a contract rate of $6 that they could claw back that, that in between, that $4.50 or so between that, but they can't take all of it. I'm told that if you violate your NDA, you don't lose everything. You just lose any additional amount over that exchange rate. Hopefully that made sense. Tim, news is always within the first 5-6 minutes or so. As a veteran in my mid-50s, which I'm still working, need this to happen before April 5th. Jeffrey, at this point, I firmly expect it to, I expect us to be done and out of the bank before the 4th of April. Song verse, we definitely need to talk. Song, you're on my list. I'm working too many hours. You're on my list to have a long conversation with. Lady Di, thank you. Nominal effective exchange rate. Pepito, I'm with you. Why would anyone risk their wealth for a loose tongue? If you guys have a habit of drinking a cup of coffee and getting a loose tongue at the diner, or having a whiskey at the pub, don't go. Like, if you have to, if you are worried that you may not be able to hold on to it, soon as this happens, go rent a cabin in the mountains in Montana for however long the NDA is. We're hearing, most often what I'm hearing is 90 days, but we're hearing anything from 30 days to 6 months. Whatever you've got to do, take it, go. Also on my podcast, just keep in mind, if you guys have to sign a 60-day NDA, I got to sign a 60-day NDA. So I will probably put out videos on news and investments and not allow any chat, so nobody can get me in trouble. Blessed, that's the smartest advice I have seen. Act like your NDA is forever. That's the best protection you could give yourself. Do you think this is, Sarah? It could. All the money in the world, though, will help speed up the crunch. But at this point, I mean, World Health Organization, I think it was 267 million they were expecting to face starvation this year just because of all the COVID lockdowns. And that was before Russia and Ukraine. Now they expect billions to face food insecurities this year and go to bed hungry. Like, over 1 billion people worldwide starving because of this. If we got all the money in the world today, there's still a time lapse before you can get fields planted, greenhouses built, all of those things. So there is still going to be some massive starvation running around the world. That's my concern. Len, do you think that gifting a family member with a no-interest 30-year loan balloon payment might work? I don't think we're going to need to worry about that because our tax structure is going to change. Ask me that when we see what's going to happen to taxes. Bill Schober, thank you for that super sticker or that chat or whatever that thing is. Captain Jim, Annabelle says, meow. She was something this morning. In my lap, kneading bread, working underneath my, like, trying to make me sneeze. Kaiser, 20,000 children die a day from starvation. Did you guys know? What was it? Somewhere I've got this one. Let me see if I can find it. Carnage boycott. As we look at this crackdown, and you look at, and it was devastating around the world. 20 times more people died, even at the height of COVID, died from heart disease than they did from from the bug. Did you see governments cracking down on high fructose corn syrup in sodas, fat content, or hydrogenated oils at your fast food restaurants? I mean, they could have saved literally 20 times more people by cracking down on those things than what they did. Meanwhile, they're going to have hundreds of millions of people facing starvation. It really is. I don't want anybody in government telling me they actually care, because I'm just not going to buy it. Yeah, D word. I like this one. My teachers in school all wish that I had signed an NDA. I bet they did. Let's see, Melissa, anyone can grow microgreens in their windows, porch, gardening. Absolutely. Why every city street that has ornamental trees doesn't have a fruit tree or something instead beats me. Double the Skeffla, double the dumb. I'm guessing because I'm missing it, I'm behind in chat, that I don't get to see it, that the mods have already cleaned it up. At this point, MS Trades, I'm thinking right before. Daniel, anyone have any idea why crude oil price is going down? Yes. My thought on that one is kind of a mutual assured destruction. They are trying to find a sweet spot where they can make the maximum amount without public backlash. What point does the American government put so much pressure on the Biden administration that they're willing to open the taps, that they're willing to commit to building refineries, that they're willing to backtrack on all of their policies and compete, which then ruins their ability to raise the prices? So they are trying to find that fine line. Now, trust me, if they weren't worried about the U.S. coming up to speed quickly and producing their own oil, it would already be $300 a barrel. But they are terrified that the world will jump in and start sending arms to Russia instead of Ukraine if it is not fixed. So they're trying to find that sweet spot. So they'll try to come down. Then you'll see it go in like waves where they'll shoot up. And as soon as people start screaming, they'll back down just a little so that they can slow boil that frog. Chicken poop makes great fertilizer. Well, of course, we got to feed them up some too. Cindy, too much to clean up for city workers. All right, how about not in the city streets, but any of the like in between railroads and things like that? Bulldog, what happens if we don't receive an email? One, make certain that you're signed up at a couple of the different news aggregating sites so that you have multiple options to get it. Also, I am told you will be allowed to share any links that they send or emails that they send on the process with whoever you would like. So I'm not worried about that one. Hi, Mark. Ed Vocal on Telegram has them on a sliding reducing scale. I've heard that. I can tell you my bankers disagree with it. I've not heard that from any actual banking contact that is involved with the bank. Could he possibly be right? Yeah, he could possibly be right, but I am not. I'm being told it's not accurate from a number of people involved in the redemption process. So all I can say is I'm hearing different. Yeah, that is an interesting one. Skeffla, if you want, I'll send you the link here. The federal court, Iraqi federal court, on a court case to increase the exchange rate. I've tried it before. Actually, I did that one of the last times Skeffla was in. I shared the UN links so that they could go in and look at the UN documentation that has occurred in the past month about that change in exchange rate as they're trying to reinstate it to its old value of 3 something. I included articles from Iraq. But yeah, if you just want to come in and bash because it makes you somehow feel like you're better, I can probably find you. I mean, you can just walk down the street, find an old lady to push over in the grocery store, maybe a puppy to kick or something to make you feel better. Health Nut, how do we share money with family under an NDA? You just share money. You say, hey, look, here's money. I came into some money. I won't tell you any details. Don't have to tell you any details. You guys are going to have to get very good at not giving a flying flip what somebody else thinks. You don't owe them an explanation when you say, hey, here's 20 grand. You don't have to tell them the why, the where, or the what. You can just say, hey, I'm doing well. I see you in need. Here's 20 grand. You don't have to say, well, I got this from currency that Aunt Gertrude died. You don't have to tell them a daggone thing. You can just say, hey, things have been very good for me. I see you're in need. Here's some money. Unredacted. I am hearing exactly what Unredacted just put in. NDA is only about the rate. I'm hearing that too. And if that is accurate, you will be able to say, hey, look, I made some great money. That currency that I had finally went. Here's some money. But you won't be able to tell them how much it went for. So Unredacted, I'm hearing the same thing. JT, with this is sad. It might be. You're right. Order a new vehicle. By the time it comes in, the NDA will be over. As bad as the manufacturing pipeline is right now and the supply chain, you might be right. That's too funny. Joyce, basically you would multiply it by the rate. How would you figure out if you had 100,000 Kuwaiti dinar right now? Let's just see that one. Let's see. I'm going to type over here value of Kuwait dinar, because the value of the Kuwaiti dinar used to be the same, or roughly the same as the Iraqi dinar is right now, and then it revalued. So $3.29 US dollars per single Kuwaiti dinar. So you would literally just multiply 3.29 times that 100,000. So if you had 3.29 times 100,000, you would have 329,000. And that's as simple as it is, Joyce. A lot of people are making it more difficult than it needs to be, but the math is literally that simple. WTF, got it. I just wanted to do it the slow route for everybody to see what I was doing. It literally is that simple, guys. Jeff Lutz, I would not be at all worried about making a big one when they give you the card. Small one to make certain it's working. I am told you will be able to see your account before you leave. G Moose, crypto hit big is what I will say. Hey, there you go. Watch XRP XLM. XRP is getting more and more wins as it looks like everything is going to back off on the Ripple side of this one. It may surpass what I thought it was going to do, because I was looking for 400 or 500% out of your XRP maximum. I think it's going to crush what I was looking at. Milani, you're dead on. We've been conditioned to make things too difficult. We have been. You are so right. Bernard, I'm going to tell people that I struck it rich with an unobtainium mind. Kural, can you redeem dinar right now? Yes, but you probably paid more for it than you could redeem it for, so it just wouldn't make much sense. And they're going to pay you a discount. If you're financially hurting, I would reach out to people in the community and say, hey, I need to sell some of my dinar. That's one of the reasons I like Vietnamese dong so much. is because if you do get in a crunch, other than the spread, that's all you lose. It's like paying $1 for a lottery ticket. And then if you get hurt, or if it's not a winning one, you can then turn around and sell it for like 95 cents. That's tough to beat. You show me where you have that potential upside and that little of risk. Fishing today, yes. Lobster, not a bad one. I think there's a lot out there that has more potential. So I'm going to try to get current. Let's see. Just tell them you made money selling sailboat fuel. I like that one. Rick gets it. Risk versus reward is amazing. Can I tell you how many of history's greatest investors will tell you risk versus reward is the most important thing you need? If the upside is much better than the possible downside, then it is worth doing. Then you put it there, you roll the dice. It just makes huge sense. I already answered that question. I broached that one. Of course, you guys may be on too much of a delay. You may not have heard me talk about that one, but I've already answered that one. I like that one too. Made money on underwater fire prevention, Maddie B. That one's funny too. That is exactly it, Thomas. A hot air fuel exchange. JT's going to call it an inheritance. And think about it. It is an inheritance because it should create enough wealth your children will be able to inherit it. Kaiser, I'm with you. That to me makes perfect sense. Risking $163 to make $30 million. To me, that's a bet worth taking any time. I mean, if you're wrong, you're out $163. If you're right, you are $30 million to the good. I mean, why would you not do that? I mean, I totally understand if you're crushed on dollars, but let's just say that you are crushed on dollars right now, and you just, man, life is tough. You can't afford, ramen. These gas prices have broken you. You can then take that risk, that $163, and you can say, Kaiser could say, I'm hurting. And I know that Linda and Lori are out there looking for some currency because they just can't find it. So you could go on here and say, hey, look, I paid $163.19. I'm hurting for money. Who wants first dibs on this? I would put money on the fact you're going to get somebody awfully close to that. Somebody might offer you more. They may only offer you $150. But so think about that. Think about the risk you actually have with this. Unless you paid an obscene amount for your currency, you can turn around because there is such a shortage of the currency right now that you can just sell it. Now think about that. Where's the risk? Where's the negative of this one? I just don't get it for you doubters out there. You basically have as close to zero risk as is possible on this one. If you were fortunate enough to get your dong from the bank, you paid $40-some for $1 million. You can literally go right in here in chat or in any of the currency chat rooms and say, hey, look, man, I've got to sell some of this dong. I'll sell it to you for $50 $1 million. People would jump all over it, which means your risk was zero, but your potential upside was enormous. Does nobody catch the logic of that one? I mean, how do they miss that? Made money at multiple casinos playing blackjack using a system I own before being tossed out. See, Larry, I'm with you. I mean, how many stupid things have you guys spent money on? A $20 lottery ticket. And if it doesn't win, you've got nothing. But if you spent that same $20 and bought currency, then if you get crunched, you can sell it back. You can sell it to somebody else. and you didn't lose a thing. Dong has a great upside. Ding. No, it does. I mean, think about it. If Vietnam just reinstates their old value, it would be, somebody I think here's done the math, it would be somewhere between 221 and 236 based on inflation. All they do is fix their currency to the old rates from the early 1960s. Was it late 58? Anywhere, somewhere in there, somewhere between 58 and 62. Yeah, that million Vietnamese dong would be worth over $2 million US. I mean, how is that? I mean, that's tremendous upside. And if they don't, it's worth what you paid for it. And you didn't lose anything. Now, if you put your US dollars into the bank right now and you try to save it, what are you losing? You're losing 10, 15% every year that it's sitting in the bank because it's not earning money. So now think about that. If I buy some currency, then because of inflation hitting the currency, I'm going to be able to sell that currency for more because of inflation. It literally is a hedge against inflation. But if I leave it as US dollars, I'm getting screwed. I don't know. I don't know with you people. All right, happy birthday to all those celebrating. Let's do this one. Jamie is asking me something. What did Jamie say? MarkZ Redemption Center, the same as regular bank. Same as in that it's safe, but no. Redemption centers, I'm told, are in some areas, special areas set up. In others, it will be a spare office in a bank, depending on how many people in your area. So if you're in an area where they think they have a lot of currency holders, they have set up a special area, a special building, maybe not even attached to a bank at all, so that they can handle it, where they can bring in the machine and the staff. They don't want to take away from regular operations. I'm told in some more rural markets that it will be a spare office in a bank where they will handle it. You'll literally go to a branch that has an extra office or two, and they will have set those up for redemption. So it's going to depend on where you're at. You know, that's a great, somebody just said it's better not to tell anybody. If you're going to let them loan money, you think they're in need, have a cashier's check created. Don't tell them anything. Just have it delivered. Literally pay a courier service or mail it to them, certified mail, so that they see it. Include a nice letter. Hey, I've noticed you. I'm just God called on me to improve your life. Give them some background. I think you're fantastic people. I've seen you struggling, and I want to bless you. And don't tell them at all who it is. Just say, I want to bless you. Here's your cashier's check. That was a great idea somebody over there in chat had. I think it's just fantastic. All right, your birthdays. Mash, who else? Mr. C will be on Friday. Chef Melanese, yes. Still planning on Mr. C. Rick gets it. That's great approach. You don't have to explain anything to anybody. You can, if you want to bless them, you see they need something, you can, I don't know, cut a deal with a tire company and go sit down with them and say, hey, look, I don't want anybody to know, but I want a number of your business cards. You can bill me. I'm going to sign these special cards, and this is what my signature looks like. And if they bring it to you, I want you to fix everything wrong with their car, put tires on it, and call me immediately and I'll pay you. So many cool things. Yeah, keep it a total mystery. I like that, because when we give, we're supposed to give because we want to give, not because we want credit for giving. So I kind of like that idea. Somebody had it. It wasn't my idea. I saw theirs. Money on a card, great idea. Some prepaid debit cards, just hand it to them. Wait. Jake Gutta, thank you. I've blown thousands at adult clubs back in my days. This is a no-brainer. Jake Gutta, right? I mean, think about that. You make that decision where you just want that steak and lobster, and you go out down to the Longhorn, and it wasn't even that good, but you blew the money anyways. Why not blow it somewhere where you can make big money? Instead of going down to McDonald's for that $10 Happy Meal, eat at home and spend $8. Spend $2 on a bologna sandwich and an apple at home. Spend that $8 on currency. Somebody will think it's fake if you just send them stuff. You're going to have to. That's why we've got to think it through. Like, if you're going to send somebody a certified check, make sure you send it like certified mail or something so that they have to sign it. So you know they saw it and include a good note. All right. Birthdays. I'm going to try to catch up here. It has been a while. It's more expensive than that now, right? All right, Maj and anybody else. So they tell me it's your birthday. Well, happy birthday, darling. May you live, may you love. May all your dreams come true. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Enjoy it. Back at 7 unless we get some breaking news. God knows I hope we're going to get some. I am tired too. I like Mr. C. Wife's. I can't wait. We are so going to get Mrs. C in a room after this thing is done and ask her just how salty he was during the process. All right. Bye, guys.